These retro emulation consoles bring back so much joy and memories, but they are not perfect and there are some issues that you will run into with some of them. However, that is what this video is going to be about. I do not want to do the same thing as other creators and just simply review these things. I want to create a useful, valuable, helpful piece of content going over some common questions that you have left on previous videos. And I don't want anybody to ever think that I am some sort of tech review channel or some sort of news journalist or something like that. I am just a guy sharing stuff that I enjoy with other people like a friend would. I replied to each and every single comment across all 4 of my channels, man. So if you have a question or you run into an issue with one of these things, then just simply leave a comment, okay? So if you do not like the more like conversational type of content, this is not the video for you and you can go and watch somebody else. Let's actually begin. I did end up writing a couple of questions down on a notepad that you have. The first one is controller problems. Now I want to explain this in a very simple way, okay? So when you let's say you have a smart TV and you load up the YouTube application, and you click the settings button. That is how simple this is, because when you get one of these things, and let's say you have an Xbox controller that you want to use and you don't want to use the controller that comes with one of these. When you plug your Xbox controller in, the interface is going to work, but when you load up the emulator, it might not work. It really depends on what console and what platform you are going to be playing. Because if you're going to be playing the older titles, like let's say from like the Nintendo era, Super Nintendo era, Sega Genesis era, all the way up to the PS1 and PS2, Nintendo 64, and that era, those emulators on these things are using RetroArch. And RetroArch is an all-in-one emulator interface, which automatically configures and automatically detects the controller that you have plugged in and are going to be using. So you're not going to have to do anything with those consoles specifically. It's the more new consoles. It's the Nintendo Switch, it's the PS3, it's the Xbox 360, and GameCube, Wii, and those consoles. It's the newer consoles that are using dedicated emulators that you might need to go into the settings and configure your controller for it. However, with that said, it really depends on what controller you're going to be using, because most of these things are set up with an Xbox controller. So if you have an Xbox controller and you plug it into one of these things, you're pretty much going to be good to go, unless you get one of the ones that have a controller with them. Then you will have to, update your buttons on the controller. So it really is that simple of like loading up the application. You click the game that you want to play, it loads up, and then you're just going to have to, when you go into the settings, all right, there's going to be the 2 main ones that you're going to be caring about are graphics and controller. But the graphics really come down to whether or not you have a PC, a mini PC, or a laptop, and you end up getting one of the drives that Amazon sells. Now, I do want to say something really quickly. I do have a list that I will link in the description of the video. And there's a reason that I put a list together rather than linking you directly to these consoles. And that is because of the nature of what these things are. Amazon is constantly removing these emulation consoles. And they're doing that for reasons I doubt I need to explain. They come with thousands and thousands and thousands of games. You don't have to install any of these. That is literally what this video is. It's going over retro game emulation consoles. It comes with everything you need. The reason the listings may not mention the games they come with is for legal I really hope that you don't need me to explain that, okay? So that is why I have this list that I put together here. Now, really quickly, I want to go over a couple of so I want to say something really quickly. I'm fully aware there are some cheaper options, okay? But I really I don't want people to buy something or get something that I would not get myself, okay? And because of that, I didn't put a bunch of stuff on this list that is very low end and is something that you're not going to enjoy. Okay, so I just want to clear that up. The Kinhank X5 console is the most popular console that I personally would recommend for people that just simply want to plug something in and immediately start playing it. That is the console that I personally would end up getting, okay? There's also the Kinhank Super Console X4. This is $120. This is very cheap. Again, this is something that you just simply plug in, do nothing with other than turn the console on. It comes with 2 controllers, it comes with a remote, it comes with everything. However, that one is important that you keep the remote because that is how you turn that thing off. It's a little Android box, and you do need to have that controller, or yeah, controller, in order for whatever, in order to turn the thing on and stuff like that. The Kinhank Super Console X5 comes with its own controller, comes with its own console, and then it also includes a 4 terabyte drive. It is a little bit ugly having the 4 terabyte drive with that console, but like you can just wrap a piece of tape around something and you're going to be perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about that or anything. And there I did put a bunch of different, they're all the exact same thing, okay? But again, for reasons I doubt I need to explain, Amazon is constantly removing these. So I do have multiple versions of these things on Amazon, or on my Amazon list. And dude, I really have been really irritated with Windows lately. I literally have a $5,000 computer just saying encoding overloaded, consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. It's because of video footage, man. It's so irritating that when Amazon or when Windows updates crap, it really is. It's super depressing. So anyways, back to the actual video. Controller update. I kind of got a little bit off topic there, but the controller is one of the more common questions that I get. However, the next problem you might run into is updating emulators and running into bugs with some emulators and running into bugs with certain games using certain emulators. However, for the most part, you don't need to like worry about that as you're playing games. You really only need to worry about that when 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 you actually run into problems, because if you're just using this thing and you just simply want to play the games, for the most part 90% of the time you're not going to have to do anything. So so let's specifically go over the most common problem. Let's go over the Kinhank X5 because I'm guessing that's the one most people watching this are going to end up getting. It's $300. It doesn't have as many games as the other ones, but when you see a console with 60,000 games, when you see a console with 100,000 games, when you see a console with so many games like that, it's because they have the American version of the games, they have the Japanese version of the games, they have the Europe version of the games, they have they have like every single region of each and every single game. So there's lots of duplicates. You know what I mean? Whereas the Kinhank X5, it doesn't have duplicates and it does have a lot more newer, more modern games on it. They really designed that console specifically for the for like the PS2 and GameCube and things like that. So that one is pretty much, and it comes with a controller and everything. So you really don't have to worry about anything with that other than maybe having to update your emulator, which I did have to update the Dolphin emulator on that thing, which is the Wii and the Wii and the why am I having a brain fart moment right now? Or not Dolphin, right? No, Dolphin, yeah. So GameCube and I'm pretty sure it's Wii. I don't know. I don't remember which one. I did have, it was either the Wii or I know it's the one that has it runs 2 different consoles. I'm pretty sure that's Dolphin. I'm running a brain fart moment right now. All right. But that I had to update that because a lot of the games were basically they were booting and then crashing. So that's the only thing I had to do with my Kinhank X5. However, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 of them in this list. And again, reasons I doubt I need to explain. And the benefit of Kinhank, and the reason I have a lot of Kinhank stuff on this list is because it's what I use. It's what I have. It's what I know. It's what a company that I trust. So that's why I have a lot of Kinhank stuff on this. But yeah, that's the only thing I had to do with that. So as far as the Kinhank Super Console X4, again, I literally didn't have to do anything with this, but the reason I didn't have to do anything with that one is because it literally has like only older stuff. So it's using RetroArch for pretty much everything on that console. So I didn't have to do anything with that because RetroArch does everything for you. X5 Pro. Oh, so the Kinhank, I forgot what I wanted to say there. The benefit of Kinhank is like, if you're watching this video like a year from now, every single one of these are going to be updated. That's why I like Kinhank. Like, that's why they have so many different versions of the exact same thing, and then they relist something. One is because Amazon takes it down, and then 2 is because they're always updating it. So that's a benefit of having Kinhank stuff. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of this because it'll unmonetize me. But the PS5 looking console here that's on this list, I'm not going to use the first word, but it's Untly. I'm not going to use the first letter because of the first letter is K, but I'm not going to, I don't want to say that for reasons I doubt that would totally unmonetize me, and that's a dirty word. So that's again, so the cheaper consoles that are like, I want to say like $100 to $200, anything under $100, please avoid that because it's just going to cause a headache for you. You're not going to enjoy it. You're going to have a bunch of problems. You're going to have a bunch of lag. Your TV isn't going to, actually, speaking of lag, that's also another really common problem people have. But it's such a simple solution. And to be honest, I was just like you that may be running into this issue. It's your TV. You go into your TV and you click game. So your TV, like if you have a new TV and you're running into lag with any console, like PS5, I'm pretty sure the more modern consoles like automatically do this. So if you're running into problems with like input delay, you don't have your TV set to game. So just go to your TV settings and select game, and that will completely remove all, and that includes the little $30 sticks that you can get on Amazon, which I do not have on this list because again, you're just going to run into a bunch of problems. They're not going to last you. They're going to end up dying on you within a month or two. Okay. So anyways, so yeah, that one's really all RetroArch stuff like Atari Jaguar, Super Nintendo, Genesis, up to the Nintendo 64, PS1, and stuff like that. Like it doesn't have any of the newer stuff. If you want the newer stuff like PS3, Wii U, Wii, like Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, stuff. So not Xbox and Xbox 360. That is not on the Kinhank console X5. If you're looking to play Xbox and Xbox 360 games, you need a dedicated computer. And I mean a dedicated computer, not even a mini PC is going to be able to run those emulators. Not because they're quote unquote new consoles, but because they are the emulators on those were not optimized very well. So because of that, you need a higher end computer in order to run those. And yeah, so there's all of that. So now let's actually go over the Kinhank 12 terabyte hard drive. This is one where so I don't want to say this in a manner where it's going to, I don't want to say this in a way where it worries you and makes you not want to get this thing. So first of all, let's go over setting this thing up, okay? All of these are the same thing. They're literally all the exact same thing. Again, just different sellers using different versions of the hard drive, okay? So again, back to what I said, if it's a year from now and you grab one of these things, oh my God, that OBS, why are you, all right, use hardware decoding. Is that what's happening right now? Use hardware decoding. Is that what's happening? I really don't understand what's happening, dude. I really hate Windows. It's worrying me, thinking something is happening here. I don't want my recording to like crash 40 minutes in. I hope that's what just barely, I hope that resolves my issue. Freaking A, dude. Or maybe it's my candle over there heating up my PC. I don't know. But either way, bro. I'm just worried that Windows has been updating. Like I can't even play footage through Windows Media Player because their video, there's some sort of like corruption with video. I'm sure anybody watching this might have seen the issues that our PC S3 ran into, like the RPC S3 emulator. It's a PS3 emulator. It literally hasn't been running for like a few months because Windows did something with their C++ bullcrap. So Windows problems. It's the benefit of getting these little Android things. They're just they don't have Windows. So anyways, back to the 12 terabyte drives. They do go up past that. So first of all, I've done this live with you. I've scanned everything. I want to say something really quickly. I do not install any of the Play Night stuff. I do not install any of the computer games. I do not do any of that. Okay. That is where you're going to start running into problems with malware and virus warnings popping up. They're not, at least, I mean, I don't know because I've never tried it. However, the reason that warning and that stuff is popping up for you is because they're they're cracked pirated versions of these PC games, man. So they're in zipped folders and they're password protected. So when they're in a zipped password protected folder, which is literally any cracked PC game that you have, that's going to flag your virus. Like you can't, because the software that scans the crap cannot like it can't enter the file in order to let you know whether it's safe or not. I hope that makes sense for you. So I delete all of that anyways. And the reason I delete all of that is because it's literally like 2 terabytes worth of games that I'm never going to play because I don't buy these for that reason, dude. And I know that Nintendo Switch is, people are going to say, well, you're doing it with the Nintendo Switch. Why do you care so much about the PC games? The Nintendo Switch is still in thing. Listen, man, okay? I'm not saying this to be negative, but dude, it's 2025. A 720p console, come on. So like, you know, the thing with the Nintendo Switch emulator, dude, is like it's 2025 and Nintendo is releasing a 720p console. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna like whatever. You get my point. So back to the actual video. The 12 terabyte drive. First of all, it comes with a manual. Second of all, even if you lose the manual that it comes with, it literally has a setting inside of the hard drive. It's so easy to set up. You literally just install everything and it like instantly installs everything that you're going to need. And to be completely honest, dude, if you have a computer, you probably have everything that you're going to need anyways, because all it is it's the C++ and the core and the C++, core, retrobat, launchbox, big box. And then it also has the Play Night stuff, but I don't use the Play Night stuff. I don't install the Play Night stuff, and I don't do any of that. Oh my freaking goodness, man. That is so irritating me. I really am so annoyed with Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and so problems that you're going to run into with the 12 terabyte drive. First of all, retrobat is going to be out of date. There's YouTube videos how to update retrobat. It's very simple. You hit a settings button on your controller and it launches the settings. You just hit update and it updates everything for you. So that's really all I need to say. Dude, if the video's I cannot believe Windows. I really hate Windows. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end this because I can tell already that it's lagging. I genuinely do not know what's happening with anything. So catch you guys in the next one. Peace.